Week 35, first of three big build weeks, and it went off without a hitch. So let's get to the recap. Hey, everybody. Well, so we got week 35 in the can. Really, really good week. It was the first of the three big build weeks. The last kind of big push before the taper. And other than a little hip flexor drama on the run, it was a great workout week. I just really couldn't be happier. Let's go ahead and get to the mileage, and we'll go from there. So week 35 in the swim had 5,900 yards. Bike, we had 130 miles total. And on the run, 20.1 miles for an active work time of 12 hours and 20 minutes. So creeps up as those runs get longer, the bikes too. That really does push the active work time. So conditions. So the swims are going well, no complaints, no shoulder issues, which is really, really good. I'm not really improving my times at this point, and I don't really care. I'm the amount of time it takes to drop time in the pool or on the swim really takes seasons. To drop 5 seconds off your 100. Uh, it's such a small part of the race that I just not going to invest that kind of time to improve my time. I'm going to work on form, technique, just fundamentals in my stroke, and that'll get me through the race. So that's where I'm at. All is well there. My Thursday long run was really a really good run. It was a 14-mile run. I did have, again, that hip flexor issue. Both sides, they just kind of just failed me the last couple of miles, really the last mile. And, I've had that issue before. I'm not sure exactly what it is. If it's weakness, if they're just short because I sit in a chair all of my life, working. And so I stress them as we load on the miles. A combination of that, I don't know. But I have been actively stretching, exercising them. So I'm hoping that that's helping. We'll see. Just time will tell. Other than that, it was a great run. And my long bike, man, Saturday long bike was the highlight of the week. 105-mile ceiling type dress rehearsal, for the race. Nutrition, having to work on everything. And everything just went perfectly. I mean, had some wind, had a pretty good 15-mile-an-hour south wind that had to deal with. Did an out and back and then a loop. And, half the time I was into that wind. But in spite of that, my nutrition, I watched my heart rate. It stuck right where I wanted it to be. Anywhere from, ceiling to 5 beats below ceiling, in that range. That's kind of where I wanted to stick to it. And it just went great. Nutrition went off without a hitch. I didn't get so totally sick of my what I'm consuming, so that's always good. At mile 60, I'm just telling you, I remember looking at that mileage and just feeling almost fresh, like this is just no big deal. So, by the end, I was ready to get off the bike. But again, 105 miles, everything worked. I stayed in aero essentially the whole time. So really, really happy about the ride. So we've got 2 more Saturdays that are big mileage. Next week, Saturday is 112 miles, which is race distance, and then a big one at the end, 120-mile ride. And those are some big runs on Thursdays, like 17 miles and 20 miles. So it's it really does test your body. But based on how I feel right now, I want to build into those and keep that momentum. So if I can stay out of the infirmary, I think we'll be in good shape. Injury update, speaking of. Again, no issues with shoulder, feet are good. My only real issue are my hip flexor. So as I mentioned, I'm going to keep working on that, those exercises, see if I can stave off any other complications or increased complications. So we'll see what we can do. Next week will tell the tale on a 17-mile run. Okay, summary. So overall, great week. Could not be happier with the week. Long miles, but everything really did go well. Piling on the miles next week. So hope things hold together. Stick with us as we march along, and we'll see you next week. Okay, folks. Well, so I do want to remind you that especially in this big push here at the end in our training, I want to remind you that we're doing all of this. Everything we're doing is all about raising funds, raising awareness for Tying Vines, our nonprofit that we support through Ironman Foundation. The work they're doing for Syrian refugees in Lebanon is just great work. Trauma counseling, vocational training, education, medical support. They're impacting these families, children, women who have just been decimated and they've had to flee their country. You know the story by now if you've listened to any of my videos. So please join with us. Go to my Ironman Foundation. The link is in the description box below, and consider donating, giving to this cause. Join with us. It is you won't be sorry. You will be investing in something that is on a humanitarian scale, like wartime kind of impact. So join with us. It's a cause worth being a part of. Don't know if we can solve it, but not worried about trying to solve it. I'm trying to impact these kids, these families who are right there in those camps in Lebanon. So, and we're doing that. You can be confident that you're touching lives with every dollar that you donate. Okay, folks. Thanks again. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. That helps as well. Bump us up in the ratings, and you can follow us, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Stick with us, and we're going to have a big push to the finish line here. 5 more weeks. We're on week 30, starting week 36. So, man, just at the tail end. Okay, see you next week.